Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Don Walters, welcoming you to Columbian Lanes in the second stop of the Staten Island Bowling Club for the 1989 season. We had another successful stop here at Columbian Lanes, so we could afford this month to pay out $850 for first place. As in the past, my co-host is with me again, and I'm going to introduce him in just one moment. He has a very interesting 10-pin tip for you this month for the Staten Island Bowling Club members. He has with him a few representatives from the ABC, the American Bowling Congress, and he is just basically going to review what the ABC does for the sanctioned bowler. So with that, I will introduce my co-host, Bobby Simonelli. Bobby, welcome. And before we get into that, I just want to ask you one thing. I know that we had a young man that made our finals today that I think you should be pretty familiar with, and I think you know who I'm talking about.
It's my youngest son, and
yes.
He missed some spares. He learned the hard way, and it's his first tournament, and he'll practice, and hopefully he'll be back.
Okay, he did get his feet wet, and he put up a nice show considering. I mean, we had 160 bowlers, so he finished 8th overall, which certainly is not bad at all.
Not for a 17-year-old.
Okay, Bobby, I want to introduce the two representatives that we have from the ABC, because I know that you have some good questions. It should be a very interesting 5 minutes. First, we have Louis Velasco from the ABC, and of course, you know Matty Iacovella. Matty also does a newsletter for the Staten Island Bowling Club. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to you.
The American Bowling Congress. Who are they, and what do they stand for? Each year, our league bowlers on Staten Island give us $10 dues to be sanctioned by the ABC. Today with me, I have two members of the New York Bowling Association, Mr. Lou Velasco and Mr. Matty Iacovella. And they're going to answer some questions that I'm going to throw at them to try to enlighten our bowlers that are watching this telecast so you yourself can see how you're protected by this organization. In the past, other organizations have tried to start up in states as Michigan, California, and Texas, and they thought they could do a better job than the American Bowling Congress. But the American Bowling Congress prevailed upon all these organizations, and today they're one of the strongest things that's ever happened to this game. They protect us as league bowlers, they protect us as tournament bowlers. First, my first question will be to Lou, and Lou is going to tell you the paraphernalia that goes out to the American Bowling Congress members. Lou?
I hope so. Thank you, Bob.
With us, Lou, I see you have some information here at the desk, a set of rules.
What we would address for you in terms of the ABC, other than the things that are normally recognized by the bowlers in terms of the uniformity or the certification of the alleys that you do bowl on, which is across the board for when you bowl, everybody bowls on the same level, or the same level of alleys, or the same level of participation. In terms of constitutions and specific rules, they've set standards specific to all bowlers. Prior to the season starting, let me make reference, if I can, to some of the printed material that I have. Some of the things that they tell you in terms of the bowler's Bill of Rights. In terms of ABC, you have a right to elect the league officers. Doesn't sound like a big thing, but on some occasions that may make a difference in terms of who you are and how you address things. The right to vote on league rules, kind of important if you're figuring out what you're doing. You have a right to participate specifically for that. The right to vote on a prize list. Nobody's telling you in dollars and cents where you're going to be or how you're going to finish up without your voice specific. The right to file a protest. You got a problem with something? Well, then you can address it in that fashion. The right to have board meetings, that goes along with the protest, and that goes along with the rules or the rights to your access to those rules. The right to see a financial report. They don't sound like a whole lot of things, and many people take them for granted when they show up in whatever time they bowl, specifically in the league that they've become a part of. But they are important things to start out with. Other than the things that people do recognize in terms of certification of the lanes and the uniformity of the game itself, they have massive amount of publications that addresses itself to the game. It's the only game in town in terms of how they involve themselves from ABC. On a local level, I'll go back to a national level. Prior to the season starting this year in format of a captain's issue, they provided in magazine form specifics on background in terms of dressing, which is fairly important in recent years for bowlers. They provided, in terms of the league sanctioning, a copy of the playing rules specific to all the requirements of ABC, which are consistently being changed and updated to reflect the specifics of the game as it's known currently. In New York area itself, currently as an association, we're running 2 tournaments. We represent the Mets tournament on a New York Association basis. This is the 71st annual New York City Bowling Championship, from an organization that has been in business, if that's the right terminology, since 1906. They're obligated in terms of an association to run an annual tournament. They also are backing it up with what they call a seniors tournament to give additional bowlers rights to entry, men over 55. They do that on an annual basis. More importantly, for the average bowler, for the last 4 years in terms of context, New York Bowling Association has printed or put together a listing of all the averages for all the bowlers in New York City. This is something we've undertaken after going to a whole lot of ABC conventions and finding other people that are doing things beyond our scope specifically. What that does for you as a bowler, in terms of your bowling anywhere within New York City, it allows you a specific registered average in any house in the location. So if you're bowling in tournaments or you're bowling in between leagues, that makes it a whole lot easier for the secretaries and or your league officers to certify you as a specific bowler in terms. This is a yearly publication. It is updated specifically at the end of each season.
Lou, I'd like to ask you this question now. I'm a bowler in the league. I'm having a problem. I'm not satisfied with the meeting I just came out of, and I want to call somebody. Can I make a call to anyone?
Absolutely. What we do as an organization itself is we respond. The New York Bowling Association as a association is formed for the benefit of bowling, which basically indicates the benefit of the bowler specific. If you have a problem specifically in your league activities, we have people that will respond on a regular basis, and they'll come down to you and your leagues. We'll talk to your officers, and we'll try and come to some understanding in terms of what the requirements are as you've approached them in your problem itself.
Now, I'm a league bowler, and I noticed that there is something wrong with the financial sheet. Who's responsible for checking that financial sheet to make sure the money is correct in the prize fund?
Good question, Bob. In terms of the league officials themselves, anything you do in terms of your league under ABC sanction is delegated by what they call the board of directors. The board of directors consistently of the officers of the league and the captains of each individual team, which gives everyone, if you will, a voice in the activities. The secretary specifically, the treasurer specifically, they have requirements in terms of bonding, which is again is an advantage of ABC in terms of your league monies. They have 100% bonding. They have a 30-day break period on the start of bowling. If you're sanctioned within that time frame, you receive 100% bonding of the monies that are in those leagues. So if you have any problems with them, again, there's a catch in terms of meeting requirements. Requirements are that you have a monthly statement, and treasurer and the president, who are the two signees of the monies that you're associated with. The president goes over the records themselves. If you've met the requirements in terms of paperwork, they will provide 100% bonding, which in effect will protect your money throughout your bowling time frame.
Well, Lou, I'd like to thank you.
That's a long answer.
And I'd like to thank Maddie for coming here today. And to our league bowlers, I'd like to say that for $7, that's not bad. Financial protection, a set of rules, tournaments during the year, and games to be sanctioned. Awards to be given by ABC. We'd like to show you some of these awards before we sign off and get on to the telecast. You have an 800 award, a 300 award, a 298 award, and other special awards given by the American Bowling Congress. So if your league isn't sanctioned, my suggestion to you is sanction, because the protection you're going to get, you're not going to get from strangers. American Bowling has been in business for the last 50 years at least, and they're here to protect you and to help you, And like Lou said, if you have any questions, you call New York Bowling Association, located in Queens. Now let's get on to the show and on to Donnie Walters.
Hello and welcome back to the finals for the Staten Island Bowling Club from Columbian Lanes. I have with me this month's 8 finalists, and they are as follows. To my immediate right is a first-time finalist, one of 4 lefties in the field, Ron Pulaski Jr. Next to Ronnie, we have a man that's in the finals for the 2nd consecutive month. He made the finals last month at Sunset Lanes, Petey Sharaba. Next to Petey is another 2-time finalist. He made the finals last year, and he's another lefty in the field of 8, and that's Mr. Frankie Lupo. Next to Frankie is a first-time finalist who was tied for the high qualifier for this month's event, Anthony Indelicato. Next to Anthony is another first-time finalist and fresh out of the YABA program, Greg Goldstein. Next to Greg is another first-time finalist, and this is also the son of my co-host, and this is his first finals, and he's the youngest in the field of 8 finalists, and that's Bobby Simonelli. And next to him, we have the 2 finalists in the championship match for the stop here at Columbian Lanes. We have a first-time finalist. We're both lefty, by the way. First-time finalist, bowls out of Showplace Lanes, Joe Pascale. And his opponent, who will represent Columbian Lanes, the winner of this match will represent Columbian Lanes and advance on to the Tournament of Champions for the Staten Island Bowling Club. This man is a veteran in terms of finals. This is his 6th finals with the Staten Island Bowling Club, and he is right now currently ranked 2nd in all-time money earnings for the Staten Island Bowling Club. And he already sports 1 perfect game to his credit, and he is Mitchell Bass. And this month's championship match will take place on alleys 5 and 6, and that will pit Mitch Bass against Joe Pascale for the right to represent Columbian Lanes and advance to the Tournament of Champions. And we'll be back with that action in a moment.
Well, Donnie, here we are again, Columbian Coliseum, 4 lefties, 4 righties, and we're down to 2 lefties. So I'm going to make an easy pick. I'm picking a lefty. What about you, Don?
I kind of thought you were going to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to make the same prediction.
All right, we got Mitch Bass. Now, Mitch Bass will be getting a total of 14 pins, and Joe Pascale will be getting 27 pins. We got a 13-pin difference. Mitch opens up, leaving up the 6-pin. He sort of dropped that ball as he was going up to the line. And we're going to see now if we get some spare shooting, some strike shooting. It looked like it was a great shot on the left side during the semifinals. Well, Mitch is no stranger at spares, Donnie, as we know.
No, Mitch has been here, as I said earlier. This is his 5th telecast, so he had finished 2nd last year, if you remember, back at Victory Lane. So he's really hungry, and he really wants it this month. He really does.
Donnie, I hate to ask you on a telecast, but how old are you?
How old am I? Too old. Why? No, I'm 40. Why?
Well, I'm just looking here. We got a combined age of 19 and 18, 37.
What are you trying to say?
We're older than both of these kids.
Trying to say I'm an old man?
And we get another lefty wrap, 6-pin. And Joe is going to try to convert this, and if he converts this, he'll keep his 13-pin handicap. Joe has been bowling only 1 year.
1 year.
Wow.
Matter of fact, he was a rookie last year over at Showplace Bowling Center. He has a job over there. So naturally he got interested in the game at that point.
Fell off a little on that shot, but he converted it. 1 year. 150, 252 high game. He's got a high series of 700. It took me 10 years before I shot a 700 series.
I have won 700 in my career over 25 years. So for this kid to shoot 1 year in 1 year is unbelievable.
And he's averaging 174 his first year. Highlight of his career, he said, was 2nd place in the kegless, and I believe he did that at Garden State Bowl.
Garden State Bowl, that's what he had told us, yeah. You know, sometimes bowling only 1 year, Bobby, can be a plus for you because
Another six pin for Joey. He fell off again. And when you fall off the way he's falling off, it's going to force the ball come up a little early, be a little high on the head pin, and the result is a six pin. If he were a righty, the result would be a four pin. So young Joey, only bowling 1 year, he looks awful good.
he does, and I don't think he's really bowling long enough to feel any kind of pressure yet. He doesn't have that much experience.
I don't know about that, Donnie. I think pressure is pressure, no matter if you're bowling 1 year or 30 years. He's on a telecast. It's his first time, so I wouldn't like to be in his shoes right now at his age.
Well, let's see what Mitch Bass can do. Mitch Bass, I would have to pick as the favorite between these two, just on experience alone, because he's been here so many times.
Sweeping 10 pin. Now the cause of that is the ball, as it's coming through the pocket, had a slight deflection, causing the 5 pin to go in front of the 10 pin. Now, this looks like an easy spare, but sometimes on the left side, if there's a buildup of oil in the middle, this could be a pretty tough spare for this young bowler.
I think he's going to convert it with no problem. I really don't see the other youngster beating him. They're both youngsters, but Mitch is really hungry for this. He really is.
Well, if I remember right, Donnie, this young bowler's been on our telecast before, and he promised he would come back and win a tournament, and very well this could be the one.
Well, he did tell us he was going to be in a winner's circle, and it wouldn't be a long period of time. And today may be the day.
Well, we still have that 13-pin handicap.
Yes.
Mitch goes down. Looks like a good shot. And he buried that one, and that's the first strike of the match.
Bobby, he looks locked in, and I think with every ball he throws, he's going to get a little bit more confident. He looked very good in his 2 previous matches.
Well, I think if Joey can just maintain a little more balance at the foul line, he's going to give Mitch Bass a fight.
Yeah, he's bowling like he's very anxious. I mean, he's rushing the line, and he's getting there before the ball. So as a result, he's losing his balance.
Bury it, kid, bury it.
Solid 7. You know, it's ironical, but we had 4 righties, 4 lefties. The righties were pitted against all the lefties in the first match. Luck of the draw, and it could have wound up where the lefties could have bowled each other, and we might have only had 1 lefty in this match. So we'll have to put that in our book, Donnie. He dropped the ball, Donnie. He let that ball go. He switched balls on a spare, and in a 1-game match, I think that's a bad move.
Stick with what got you here. And the other ball got him here. He should not have switched.
Well, he still has the handicap. He's still up a pin now.
By 1 pin now through 3 frames. Yeah.
He just has to remain calm, make his shot. A young bowler. He's got a big future in bowling.
Better.
Another solid 7.
Now, Bobby, let me ask you a question now. Does he make an adjustment on his first ball because he's leaving that 7 pin, or does he throw the ball, cut down a roll? What does he do now to adjust for that?
If he were bowling in a tournament, I'd say yes. But on a 1-game match, it's kind of tough to move out of that line of fire because you don't know what's going to come up.
So
He missed another one.
what it boils down to then is carry power, correct?
You're right, Donnie. And we see young Joey now just missed 2 7 pins in a row, which does show that he doesn't have that experience, but with the type of bowling ball he throws, and as young as he is, I'd hate to meet him in 6 months after this match. This is going to teach him a lot. Mitch has been here before, and he's a little more relaxed right now than Joey. And he's going to be shooting at a 7 pin. Now we're going to see the difference.
Well, you know, this young kid, Joe Pascale, he's only going to get better. He's only bowling a year, Bobby. He's 174. He's only going to get better. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future. There's no question about it.
Uh-oh. Here we go. You've seen young Joey. Young Joey went in the ditch twice, and Mitch overcompensated for that 7 pin. And the result is an open frame for young Mitch.
Now, he had an opportunity right there to take the lead, and as a result, he's still trailing because of the handicap.
Well, Joey has him by 2 pins now.
Yes, Joey's up by 2 pins now. Another ringing 7 pin for Mitchell Bass.
You heard him yell comeback. He went a little wide on that shot. And naturally, the wider you go, the less chance of carrying. Straightest line between 2 points is the best carry. And that wasn't said by Bob Simonelli. That was said by Dick Weber 25 years ago.
Well, he's one of the greats. You have to listen to him.
He converts that one. He kept his speed. He didn't let up on it. Well, looks like we have quite a match here, Donnie.
Yes, it's turning into a very interesting match. We have a 2-pin difference with Mitch with a spare up in the 6th, and young Joe Pascale is towing the line for his 6th frame now, or 5th frame rather, excuse me, his 5th frame.
Well, young Joey gets his first strike, and he comes back strong. You know, both bowlers look like they're using the urethane bowling ball. That's the latest on the market now. You get more carry with those types of bowling balls today. And even in Columbian Lanes, where carry has been somewhat limited in the past, but all of a sudden now we're getting scores out of the Mays Bowling Center.
Well, Bobby, you know, we had very high cutoff to make the show this month. So
We got a double, Donnie. We got a double. And this young bowler, maybe you're right, Donnie. He's not feeling the pressure of the match. I think when he's seen Mitch miss the 7-pin, I think this kid just came back. And he realized that anyone can miss a spare. And Mitch put him back in the game. And this is a big ball for Mitch now to see if he comes back into this game, and which he does.
This is the kind of match I enjoy watching. Strike for strike for strike for strike.
Crowd is in the match. Everybody's rooting for the both young players. I don't think there's a favorite here. It looks like the crowd is partial to both players.
Well, I think Mitch has a lot of his family here, as does Joe Pascale, and you can certainly hear it with each ball they're throwing. And each ball, you know, has a little more meaning to it because we're that much closer to the end of the match.
That was a good release by Mitch, and he comes back, and we have a match.
You talk about a strike. I mean, the pin's just exploded when he hit that one. But he's still look like he's filled with confidence, Mitch Bass. It doesn't look like he wants to be denied again.
Neither one.
Joe Pascale is now towing the line in his 7th frame, and he has a 12-pin lead right now. And he can add to it with another strike.
Connie, he was picture perfect on that. He kept his balance on the foul line, and we've got our turkey.
Unbelievable. This is a great, great final match. It really is a great match. You know, second place today, Bobby, I just want to throw this in, is worth $450. And, of course, the winner will win $850. And, more importantly, he's going to represent Columbian Lanes in the Tournament of Champions.
Well, that's not bad for $23, Donnie. Let's see what this young bowler does on this match. He went out a little far, but the ball's coming back, and he's got another strike. Oh, this young fella, he's breathing heavy.
He's got fire in his eyes and dedication in his heart. He wants it as badly as Mitchell Bass.
Well, he's got the right color shirt on, Donnie. Red for red.
Yes, red hot.
I don't think, like you said, Mitch is not going to be denied. Well, that's the game, Donnie. I mean, you make 2 shots, you get 2 strikes, you make another good shot, and up pops the 7-pin.
Good old carry power, Bobby. What can you do?
Just when you think you got it going the right way, in comes something to stop you. Well, he's got to convert this to stay in this match.
It's a vital, vital spare for him. He's got to convert this.
Donnie, he missed the same spare on the same lane twice.
That's unbelievable. Now he's got to take a big, deep breath, get himself together, and he's got to throw strikes now. Spares are not going to do it. He's got to throw strikes and hope this young kid opens up. That's all he can do at this point.
I'll tell you, between me and you, Donnie, I don't think this kid is opening up. If Mitch is going to win, he's going to have to win it outright.
Yes, no question about it. He needs all he can get.
Donnie, on that shot, Mitch looked like he jammed a little bit on the foul line, and he sort of popped his knee up, and the ball came up too high, and he almost had a 6-7-10 on that. He broke that split up, and he's left now shooting the 6-10. Cross lane on this. He's made it. He's still in this match, Donnie.
Yes, he is, but he's got to hope for some help from young Joe Pascale, and if he doesn't get it, then the old fat lady will be singing.
Joey will be coming up now, shooting a 9th and 10th frame. Now, here's the key. If Joey can strike here and strike in the 10th, the match is out. This is what we call putting the nails into the coffin.
The proverbial coffin. And not, if he throws strikes, you don't have to think about making a spare, which is also important.
This kid is unbelievable, Donnie. Why haven't we seen him before? Oh, that's right. He's only bowling 1 year.
I tell you, he's not bowling long enough to feel any pressure, and he certainly isn't. He's getting up there and freewheeling. He's got nothing to lose. He's in the lead. He's got the match well in hand, as a matter of fact. He's got like a 40-pin lead over Mitchell Bassett.
Well, this could seal it. He pulled that up, Donnie. He came up with the foul line, and he looks great. He left up then the 4-7.
I think it's over now, Bobby, no?
I think that strike sort of did it, Donnie.
Sure, Mitch goes out for 198.
Mitch can only go to 208. And we've already got this from young Joe Pascale. And we have our new champion here at Columbian Lanes, young Joe Pascale, who's going to represent the Tournament of Champions, Columbian Lanes at the Tournament of Champions.
So once again, Mitch Bass becomes a bridesmaid rather than a bride, but the future is certainly bright for him because he's one of the up-and-coming young bowlers here on Staten Island.
Donnie, I see all these kids. I think it's time for me to put my ball away. All right, young Joe Pascale, champion of Columbian Lanes, 1989, the second tournament on a Staten Island tournament trail. And remember now, young Joe Pascale is only 19 years of age. That's not bad, winning your first tournament at the age of 19. And he's only bowling in 1 year, Donnie. After this, let's go meet this young tiger and Mitch Bass. And like you said, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Mitch Bass because he's been in the finals. He's like a steady customer.
Every month he's there for us, paying his dues, and every month he's out. So the final score is 237 for Joe Pascale to Mitchell Bass's 206. 237 to 206. So Bobby, we'll take a minute and we'll come back and we'll meet the runner-up and this month's champion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, another stop is completed here with the Staten Island Bowling Club. Let's meet the runner-up for this month's event. He's been here before. He's been a runner-up before. He finished second last year at Victory Lanes, Mitchell Bass. Mitch, I want to congratulate you on your bowling. Another fine effort. I thank you for supporting the club, and I'm going to bring my co-host out because he had a few comments that I think he wants to address to you. Bobby?
Mitch, no comments, Mitch. You bowl great. You bowl fantastic. It could have been you or it could have been Joey. I think the crowd realizes that because both bowlers hit the pocket same amount of times. You caught some devastating 7-pins, as did Joey. And like we all know as bowlers, the guy that carries that one strike in between the string usually comes out the winner. But Mitch, we'd like to congratulate you, and we know you're going to be back and you're going to be a winner.
Thank you, brother.
Mitchell Bass, ladies and gentlemen. Second place this month, by the way, from the Staten Island Bowling Club, which Nancy will present momentarily, $450. That goes into what he had last year, so he's now the leading money winner for the Staten Island Bowling Club with his $450 today. There she is. Okay, there's not much I can say about our latest winner. He's still in a state of a coma, I believe. Young Lion, he told me when I bumped into him at Show Place Lanes that he was going to win, and I said, yeah, okay, that type of thing. But he was a man true to his word. He joined the club here at Columbian Lanes, and he's our latest winner. He'll represent Columbian Lanes in the Tournament of Champions, which will take place in October. How about a nice Columbian Lane round of applause, Joe Pascale. Joe, face the camera. Face the camera. Joe, I just want one thing I want to say to you before I turn it over to Bobby, and I commented during the competition. I said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you were too young to feel any pressure because you were like ice up there.
Well, I've been here before. I came in second in the Keglers, and so I really didn't feel it. But Mitch is a good bowler, so I felt the pressure a little bit. But what can I say? I just wanted to hit the pocket. I carried.
Well, you did that. When you throw strikes, you don't have to think about spares because you didn't have many to throw. Bobby?
Joey, today, between you and Mitch, we had 37 years of age, you being 19, Mitch being 18. I'm giving up bowling. Donnie's not going to bowl anymore. But in the third and fourth frame, you missed 2 7-pins. We'd like to tell the crowd, you like to tell the crowd, what was on your mind after you missed the 2 7-pins?
Well, just come back strong, throw some strikes, hit the pocket. I knew they had to fall sooner or later. So that was about it, just trying to hit the pocket.
Well, he sounds very confident. He's young. He's got a lot to learn yet, and he's going to be here many, many more times. We're going to see him in the showplace and the Tournament of Champions. He has a showplace shirt on, but now he's going to be representing Columbian Lanes at that tournament. Joey, I think all of us here would like to say to you, good bowling, and you bowl like a true champ today.
Thank you.
Let Nancy pay him the money.
Nancy has a nice check here.
Thank you.
Joey, what are you going to do with that money?
I got to give half to my mother. She sponsors me, so.
All right?
Where are you, Mom? Where's Mom? Is your mother here?
No, one's here. I wanted to dedicate this. My uncle, he passed away this afternoon, and I wanted to win this for him, so I did.
What was your uncle's name, Joe?
Peter, my Uncle Peter.
Joe's Uncle Peter passed away this afternoon, and he's dedicating the win to this tournament, and I think that's just great from a young 19-year-older.
All right, we took care of the financial aspect of it. Now let's get Tony Giannetti up here to present the trophy from Columbian Lanes, which, by the way, was donated by Columbian Lanes. Tony?
First of all, am I right? First of all, you got to get that shirt off. It don't say Columbian Lanes. We'll make sure there'll be one with Columbian Lanes up there. But lots of luck on behalf of Columbian Lanes. Take this trophy and wear it well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much. Joe, again, congratulations. Mitch, good shooting. Lefty, Loy, come on up. Matty, while you're here, it's nice to have you here. For those of you who don't know who the news editor of the Staten Island Bowling Club is, he's making a cameo appearance. Here he is, Matty Acavella. Everybody knows Lefty, everybody knows Loy, okay? These are the people that make it work for you. And I thank them as I do every month, because without them, the Staten Island Bowling Club would still be in the thinking stages. Our next stop at the Staten Island Bowling Club will take place next weekend at Showboat Lanes in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So I hope a lot of you club members can make the ride down there and participate in the event. From there, in the month of April, well, we don't have a stop from the Staten Island Bowling Club, but my 12th annual Staten Island Singles Classic will take place, and that will happen at Country Lanes, and first place in that is guaranteed $1,200, the Kevin McNeese Memorial Award, a jacket, a videotape of the finals, and this year, for the first time in its 12-year history, it will be on cable television. In the month of May, the Staten Island Bowling Club will be spanning the other bridge. We'll be going to a house in Brooklyn called Rainbow Lanes. And my co-host, Bobby Simonelli, is one of the proprietors over there. And I don't know if I'm at liberty to make an announcement yet, or should I wait?
Well, we'll have a surprise for everyone when they come to
Okay.
Rainbow.
It'll be a pleasant surprise. It'll be a stop that we all can look forward to. So I would like to thank everybody for stopping down and coming out to Columbian Lanes and supporting the Staten Island Bowling Club. Again, we had 160 members this year. We paid 16 spots. Each month we seem we're setting another record with the Staten Island Bowling Club. We're here to stay. We're here for you. I thank you all very much. I wish you the best of luck, best of bowling, and I look forward to seeing you all again. Thank you. This is Don Walters saying, take care.